Hello everyone, happy Halloween. How's everybody doing? Welcome for tuning in for another great episode of Brutally Honest. Let me ask you guys something. Do y'all know how Halloween started? Do y'all know that my name is actually Mr. Claus and this is how I look on Halloween? And then Thanksgiving comes around, then I eat my ass off. And then that's why I'm so fat in Christmas. How's everybody doing? I'm pulling along. Where's my boy at? Where's my boy? Where's Brutal Keith? Come out here, bro. Come out here, Mr. Brutal Keith. What's going on, man? It's been a long time, man. Where you been?
Yo. What's good? What's good, man?
How's everybody doing, man? Happy Halloween, man. How's everybody doing today? I know it's been a long 2 weeks, but we're back now. Today we're going to be talking about how everybody wears masks. You know, last couple of weeks, we was talking about toxic people, you know, and how everybody can be toxic as long as you know that. And we was talking about ambivalent relationships and friendships as far as these ambivalent when you don't even know if they like you or not. You don't even know if you like them or not. It's like either it's convenient or it's just, they're just there and you're just lonely and you're just trying to chill with somebody. Mm-hmm. We spoke about that, you know. But one thing you need to know about these ambivalent people is that they got masks too. You feel me, Keith? Like everybody has a mask. As long as we can all agree with that, even you guys, you gotta admit to this. Awareness is the first key as far as knowing what it is, you know? So how's everybody doing? That's who has a mask?
We all wearing, bro.
I don't know, bro. You're looking pretty good like that, man.
Thanks, man.
This is how I always known you. What do you mean everybody has a mask? I don't get it.
Nah, man, we all wear 'em, man. I'm pretty sure right now somebody might be out there, you know, getting ready for Halloween, putting on a mask.
Or they probably had that mask on all year.
Yeah. Some people do. 365 days, and tomorrow is just the excuse to walk around with it, right?
Do you really believe everybody wears a mask? Do y'all really believe that everybody wears a mask at one time or a point in their lives?
I think we wear them all the time, man. One of the things,
all the time?
Yeah. One of the
all
things,
the time. Now, you always wear masks?
Yeah. One of the things I actually saw, and it stuck out to me, it was a Japanese proverb, actually.
Why don't you just take that mask off before you tell me about that Japanese proverb?
All right. You want to see the real me?
Just take the mask off. We're tired of it, man.
Fine. That's fine with me.
That's better. You see, now I get to see the real you. I get to know the real you. So what are you talking about this Japanese, Korean
Japanese
proverb
basically states that we all wear 3 masks. And we
masks.
Do. Realistically, we do. When you think about it, one of them that we show to everybody in the world. You know, people we don't know, strangers. You know, you just meet somebody for the first time. That might be the mask they get. The second one.
Hold on, not to cut you off, but you said that there's 3 different types of masks.
Yeah.
Number one is what? The one we show to the world, like our friends and family, strangers?
No, just to the world. Number 2 is actually the one that we show to our family and our friends and the close people around us. That's what you're getting at. That's what this is. You know, the real me, you know, number 2.
That's number 2. So then 3 is strangers and worldwide, whatever, everybody.
And then the third one is the real one that nobody ever gets to see.
The true one.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes, I understand where you're coming from, how sometimes we all wear a mask, how you always have a mask. But to be honest with you, bro, sometimes I don't even have a mask. To be honest, sometimes I don't even have a face. Because there's sometimes I don't even know who I am. So I don't really agree with everybody has a mask at all times. Sometimes we're confused and we're in a crossroad with our lives that we don't even know where we're going or where we've even been through.
And you know what? You're right. But even then, it might be wearing a mask. It might be putting on something that's saying, hey, you know what? I'm trying to find me. But to everybody else, man, it might just be that plain face.
The reality is, bro, is that nowadays everybody claims that they're real. You know, everybody's like, oh, I'm real. That's why I don't like to use that word because it's so overused that it's lost its value already. Yeah. Oh, I'm real. Like a lot of times, people don't even know what real is. Like I'd rather use sincerity. I'd rather use being genuine.
Yeah.
You know,
genuine.
authentic with people. Like, I'd rather use words like that because not everybody is real. You know, if y'all want me to take my mask off, y'all tell me. I think I'm looking pretty damn good.
I'm going to take mine off just so that I can be real and transparent, right? And give them this one.
No, but that you're still not being transparent. This is mask number 2 from your little proverb, the Korean proverb, Indian proverb.
And
Kama
you know
Sutra.
what?
I'm surprised you come up with a Kama Sutra quote, knowing you.
I got one, but it's not relevant to this.
Let's
save that for
stick to the
another
topic.
one. And this one is you're right. This is another mask. This is another mask that I wear.
Well, let's talk about why. Let's talk about why people wear a mask. Why do you think some reasons as to why people wear a mask?
The number one reason is to cover something up or to wear disguise. I mean, let's face it, the definition of mask is to cover up or partially cover with intent to disguise or to serve, to conceal or disguise yourself. So when we say people wear masks, it's to hide something.
To hide, to conceal, can it be to deceive?
Oh, definitely.
But now it's not targeted just to deceive. Just because you're being disclosed as far as the information that you're putting out there doesn't mean you're being mischievous or deceitful.
It can be. It depends on what mask you're looking at. The reality is some people do deceive other people. Some people pretend that they want everything you offering, and at the end of the day, all they're looking to do is use you and be gone. So I mean, there's a bunch of different ways, and that's what we're talking about. Why?
Well, why? I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, you know, ridicule, criticism, things like that. Fear of being judged. We all wear a mask. At the end of the day, nobody really knows you. At the end of the day, people want to talk about, but I know you because what? Because we had a conversation, because we went on a date, because you read a post on my social media, because we've been friends on social media for what, 3-4 years? Oh yeah, you're right. You absolutely know everything about me. Like, how can you know me if I don't even know myself?
Wow. That's true.
How can you automatically know what my reactions is because of what we've been through? Now you're judging me because of moments of weakness.
Yeah. And,
you know, people out here, they'll say like, you know, someone said, oh, you wear a mask here every Tuesday. Do you wear a mask every Tuesday?
Nah, man, this is the real me.
So so that's the real you. I mean, so why call it brutally honest? If you're going to be what, fake?
Yeah, that's why what you get on this show is direct honesty. And sometimes it's malicious. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes you may not like what we're going to say, but it's going to be real. It's going to be genuine.
It's going to be genuine because everybody loves to be. You know, a lot of times it's like we all wear a mask because we're not comfortable. You know, we're not comfortable with the person who it is. Once you become more comfortable, like you said, you'll take one of a mask off. Just because you have a mask on doesn't mean your face is completely covered. Sometimes it could be a partial mask.
That's true.
You know, sometimes you're just giving them a little. You know, and sometimes because of somebody, you create a mask. Let's say you meet somebody and you got your reasonable doubt with that person and things like that, right? And that's all cool until they show you something. Until you show you that, wait a minute, I've had my guard down, but you just reminded me why I had it up in the first place. Oh, snap. Let me put it back on. Let me protect myself. That's what I mean. Like a lot of times people create a mask just because it's necessary because of the people that they're dealing with. Sometimes you're dealing with a toxic person and they gotta protect yourself. At the end of the day, you always gotta put yourself first. At the end of the day, you need to protect yourself because ain't nobody gonna do it better than you. And the reality is nobody cares more about you than you should.
Exactly.
Regardless of what they tell you. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they wear masks and they act like they're your friends. But the reality is, they just love drama. The reality is, they're just miserable and they just want company. The reality is, they're not really your friends. They just acting like they're your friends because you're just a convenience for them. You're just being used and deceived. Feeling like, oh, they're really friends. When at the end of the day, your life is their entertainment. You know, all the BS that you're going through, they're over there with the popcorn and the drink laughing behind your back. That's why I said the most fakest thing you could be is a hypocrite. You feel me? Like, how you gonna put on a mask and act like you're so friendly in front of somebody, like you really care and like you're really genuine for that person, and yet you go behind your back and start talking about their problems. I'm not saying you're making fun of it or whatever. I'm just simplifying as far as now you're spreading their business. But you're their friend.
Well, and that's the thing. Having a side agenda can be wearing a mask. Having ulterior motives or like we say, you know, when people just don't be direct or upfront, a lot of times that's going to happen. Now, let me ask you this. When we talking about that in those situations, I mean, are we falling in love with the person that we getting to know, or are we falling in love with the mask they showing us?
Well, one of those 3 masks, right?
Yeah.
And we're simplifying
Well,
this from
depending on
3.
what
Sometimes it could be
situation.
2 and sometimes it could be 10.
It can be, but I mean, when you break it down to simplest terms, it's 1, we show everybody. The 2nd, we show to just close people, family, friends. And 1, we really just keep for ourselves that we don't show to anybody. So when you break it down to that might be somebody that you're trying to get involved with. Maybe they're in the close friend or category. And you know, they might be wearing mask number 2. Who knows? But at the end of the day, what are you showing? You know, are you the one wearing the mask, or are you looking out for the people that's wearing them?
It could be both.
It
could
can
be both,
be.
or it could be singled out. Like, you know, like a lot of times, like, you know what? Like we was talking about how people create a mask. Now, how can you destroy the mask? Either you can destroy it yourself, or they can destroy it for you. How do you destroy yourself? Simple, just taking it off. You feel me? Or, like you said, or like I said actually, they can destroy it for you as far as proving you right.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you thought he or she was down, a good friend, a good whatever your expectations was. They showed you that they're even better than that, and now you're like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm taking my mask off. So you take your mask off, right? And then after you take your mask off, you're like, but I still got my own insecurities. So before I do that, let me continue to protect myself, because I'm not really sure yet, you know?
It's like taking off one mask to put on another. And like you said, in this particular example, it could be for vulnerability, to not put yourself out there, to make sure you still protected. You feel like, yeah, maybe this is where you shed mask number 1 that you show to everybody. This person is getting close enough in my life to where I can show them mask number 2.
But it could also be like insecurities too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times we're covering up our own insecurities and we're covering up our own flaws because, you know, I'm sounding redundant because of the ridicule, the criticism, the judgment, you know, and things like that. So we're trying to cover those up because they showing us who they are. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you showing me who you really are. I thought you was this. Now you're showing me you're that. But you're still telling me you're this, but you're still acting like you're that. And it's like, I was rooting for you. I was on your team. I was your number 1 fan. You feel me? But it's like, you keep striking out, but you're telling me you're a home run hitter. But you keep striking out, and it's like, where does it get to that point when you either realize that they're just wearing a mask or a front, and when do you realize that maybe all this time you've been wearing the mask of being patient and tolerable, when at the end of the day, you already knew. When at the end of the day, you already had the signs telling you this isn't what you're looking for, or this isn't what you thought it was. Like, those true colors are popping up, and yet you're still too blinded. Like because of your heart. I understand when emotions are involved, you know, heart is the strongest and the weakest part of your body. So that must be why, because of your heart. Because a lot of times we like to think with our heart instead of thinking of our minds. A lot of times we know what's good for us. A lot of times we know what we need to be doing. But we fall victim of sins from the flesh. You know, like I'm saying, like, oh, we want to fulfill ourselves. We want to fulfill our bodies. Or we want to fulfill ourselves physically. But where and where do we feed our soul? When and where do we start taking care about what really matters?
And it's crazy because in regards to the topic of with masks, One of the things, one of the memes I actually saw has stated some people wear the mask for so long, Stitch, that when they go to take it off, it's ripping their skin. It's ripping their flesh. And it's crazy because
I like the way you said that. I like the way that sounds.
And listening to what you're talking about, it sounds like that's it. Like just like what you said, you know, at what point do we say, okay, you're gonna show the real person, or you're gonna get the real you, or?
But I like the way you said that. Like you know, like how sometimes you literally ripping your mask off, that you're taking part of yourself or what you thought was part of yourself off, because you've been so conformed to be a certain way for so long that to you now it's normal. For you it's like, no, this is who I really am. No, I am a secure person. No, I'm not a jealous person. No, I do have high self-esteem, but the reality is you're not. So I completely understand the analogy, and I'm speaking in general, right? I'm completely understand the analogy you said as far as ripping it, because it hurts. Because sometimes it hurts, not sometimes, most times it hurts for you to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm not perfect. Sometimes it hurts when you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? I need to learn how to manage my money.
Yeah.
You know what? I need to be a better father. You know what? I need to step my game up. You know what? Like, why am I dressing like a bum? I'm better than this.
Facts.
It hurts for that. But that's always the first step. Like we always say, the first step is always awareness.
Self-criticism.
And you gotta be tough at yourself. That's why a lot of people ask, you know, like they ask me, like when people are in a relationship, as far as why do people stay so long from the abuse? Now, it could be physical abuse, verbal abuse, any type of abuse. At the end of the day, you know, it's different situations. But the reality is nobody should be put in that situation, right? But it's like, you know, we take abuse from people, and I'm going to strictly say verbal abuse. Most of the times, we take verbal abuse from people because it doesn't matter what they're telling us. You know why? Because what we're telling ourselves is a lot worse.
Facts.
So you ain't even phasing me, calling me worthless. You calling me worthless, and I'm over here feeling like I should have never even been born. So who cares what you think?
It's true.
You feel me? So that's why a lot of times we take verbal abuse. But it's like once you come with that awareness and once you know who you really are, then you could take the next step as far as what it is that you feel like you deserve. You feel me? A lot of times we're rushing to get into a relationship, or we're rushing into getting that promotion in that brand new job. When we haven't even put in the work yet. Not in that job. Have you put in the years for the experience that you need to get to that next step? Now in a relationship, have you put in the work as far as being single?
Yeah.
When working on yourself, have you done that? No. Then you should stop looking for someone to fulfill whatever it is that you should have had already.
Facts.
That's why a lot of times these don't work. That's why, you know, there's so much divorces and so much breakups. Because a lot of times, you know, like, and let's say call from a guy's perspective. We meet a girl. We like the girl. We're working hard to get that girl. We got that girl. We don't got to work anymore. So we lost our project. We lost our vision, and vice versa. Because it's not just the guy chasing the girl. No, it has to work both ways. With me, it's going to work both ways. It's either you're going to match my energy or I'm not interested. Period.
Facts.
You feel me? But it's like you need to know these things. So I understand why we all wear a mask. Why? To protect ourselves. Cover up our insecurities. Getting comfortable. Before I get comfortable, before I start showing you my true colors, I need to know that what type of person you are. Because if I don't know you what type of person you are, if I feel like you just like to gossip and just spread my business, then you know what? I'm going to be reserved, quiet, and timid around you.
And that actually leads into something that I wanted to talk about in regards to when we are wearing the mask, especially when we first meet somebody, because we have whether that wall up or we're just showing them our best us in the beginning. You know how that goes.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know if I should let you finish because like you're saying, showing them our best us. But don't I contradict myself if I'm saying that's true, but yet I still don't feel like I got to impress anybody?
Well, yeah,
Or
because
is it
it's
a
not
thin
about.
line, or what?
It's not a matter of impressing them. And what I was going to with that is that person that you're entertaining, whether you're trying to get to know them, to get involved with them, whatever the case may be. When you have that mask on, and this is what I was asking, is are they falling in love with you or with the person they think you are because of the mask you're wearing? So that was sort of the question. When you put on that mask, are they falling in love with you or what they think is you?
Only if the reason you're putting the mask, if you have other intentions for it. For an example, just because I got a mask on doesn't mean I'm being fake with you. Mm-hmm. Just because the reason I have a mask on, and I'm just speaking in general, right? The reason I have my mask on is because I'm not comfortable with you yet, you know? Or the reason I have my mask on is to cover my own insecurities. Or for an example, I'll say because I just don't know who you are. But if you're coming at me, asking me anything, if you're asking me questions, asking me to go out, asking me to chill and whatever, and I really don't feel like doing that, but yet I still say yeah and let you play along with it, then I think that's an issue. Then I feel like you're fooling yourself and you're playing that game. Then I feel like now you're just being fake because you're doing something you don't want to do. That's when it's deceitful.
Like what we
when you're
about
doing
in the
something you
beginning.
really don't want to do, now you're being fake. But if you just have a mask because you want to protect yourself, then it is. And if you're protecting yourself, and if he or she is asking you to have a couple of drinks, and you're protecting yourself, why would you be like, sure?
Yeah.
If you're trying to protect yourself from that person, why you should have just been real, like, nah, I'm good. Like, make up whatever you want to make up. I'm busy. But nah, I got the mask on and I'm being fake. Now I should have had a clown mask on too. Like how many? I thought you said it was only 3 masks. How many masks is it, Keith?
It's still the 3, but yes, being a clown can be one of them.
So the first mask is for everybody.
Yep.
The second one is for the people closest to you,
Yep.
and the third one is only for that the reflection in the mirror.
Pretty much.
And sometimes you don't even know who the hell you are. So it's how many masks you got.
Well, that's still 3 and then a possible, I guess.
How do people have a mask? How do we have a mask?
We build them, we create them. We sometimes it's imitation. Sometimes we're pretending to be something we're not. It doesn't necessarily have to be like Halloween where I want to be Dracula so I get the teeth and I'm Dracula. No, it can be a little bit more than that. But at the same time,
I'm Dracula once a month. I'll let that settle in. But, go ahead. you were saying?
moving right along.
Let that settle in. Now that's going to go over a few of them in their heads. But continue. I'm putting my mask of being a comedy now. We put a mask on. No, we put a mask on every Tuesday, so I'm gonna put a mask on of being a comedian now.
There you go. Hey, like you said, man, you're a funny guy. You make yourself laugh.
Hell yeah, I crack myself up. But you were saying. Crazy, man. You know, like
let me ask you this,
what's up?
and maybe this is switching gears a little bit. Can the mask be positive?
Can the mask be positive?
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, the first thing that comes up to my head, bro, is like, let's say you coming at me and you having a bad day. Or you having a bad situation, a problem, an issue, something that you're going through, right? Something's troubling you. I had a bad day too. Matter of fact, I'm not even in the mood. But I know you need me and I'm your friend. Damn. Let me go and put on my mask of comforting and counseling, at least until you're good. You good? I could take my shit back off and look at myself in the mirror and continue being depressed. You good? Good? All right, cool. Let me move along. That's the only thing I could come up with as far as turning it into positive.
Well, I mean, and I guess maybe in my mind I was thinking about it a little differently. A few weeks back we had spoke about, girls that wear makeup. Now, I'm not saying makeup is a mask, so to speak, although, it can definitely very well be. But sometimes girls put on makeup so that they feel more confident or feel more beautiful. And that's, their belief in, whatever the case may be. But And when I was thinking about it, I was thinking, you know what? It can also be positive for some people to actually put on a mask, whether it's to look better or even if it's not actually putting on makeup or things like that. It could just be, like you said, putting on that smile for a friend that might need you, or, you know, going into work with a positive attitude, even though you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, you know, and one of the things that I was even going to say, you know, and just being real, because that's what we do here and keep it brutally honest. Yeah, I took off the fake mask, you know, for the show. But even now, you know, I can still be wearing one or I still am. You know, we're having a show. I'm positive, I'm motivated, I'm inspiring. That's what we here to do.
And they have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Exactly. They don't know how stressed you are. Like, they don't know you was crying an hour ago. Maybe I'm exaggerating it,
but it's like we can still put on the mask, even if it's for positive things like inspiring and motivating other people to be motivating and inspiring.
But don't you think it's still wrong of you to have a mask on? Like, don't you feel like at the end you should always be true to yourself? Don't we always say, be yourself?
Definitely. And that's the reason why I can sit here on camera and say that. Because I am being honest and I'm being real. Yeah, there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. And those of you that know us close actually know what's going on and stuff like that. But for those of you that don't, you know, you always going to get 110% out of each of us. Sometimes that might be me coming here when I really, you know, got my mind in other places and other things. But
like you probably got them now.
Yeah, but I'm here, you know, and I'm definitely doing this for you guys because I believe the messages we talk about actually reach you guys. If you're watching live, press 1. If you are watching this on replay, I know it's late in this, but press 2. We do love those feedbacks, all right?
We'll go through the comments, see anything worth mentioning. Anything
definitely.
Let's not leave it alone. So, you know, we was talking about, today we're talking about how we all wear masks. Whether you want to agree with it or disagree with it, the reality is we all wear masks. Who? All of us. What? Wear a mask. When? All times. Can it vary? Of course. Why? Because of we're not comfortable. We don't know if we could show your true colors yet. At the end of the day, I don't even know who you are, and I don't know what your intentions are. You know, a lot of times people, they act like they're your friends and they're cool and all this and all that, and you have to think back. Do they really want to see you happy? You got to start thinking about every time you tell them something good, are they really happy for you? Matter of fact, let's take a step back. Every time something good happens for you, are they excited for you, or they try to shut it down like it's not, like them, you know, minimize it or diminish all your hard work and your credit that you know that you actually worked for this. Mm-hmm. Like, who are your friends? A lot of times, who you think is your enemy is a better friend than your best friend, because at least your enemy is keeping it real with you. You feel me? A lot of people say like, yeah, I'm cool with you and I want the best for you. But as soon as I you know, you tell them something like, hey, listen, I met somebody new, or they're not good for you, or you deserve somebody better. Like, damn, you want to know a name first? You feel me? Like, I know you're single and you've been single, but damn, I kind of want to be with somebody. You know, I got dreams and aspirations in my life too. You know, so we all wear masks, and at the end of the day, like you said, you brought it up, a lot of times it doesn't always have to be negative. A lot of times it doesn't always have to be destructive. A lot of times it could be productive and positive. A lot of times you can use some of these masks to influence and motivate and help somebody that needs it for that moment. So, like I say, I love the yin yang because it's all intertwined. You know, it's no black, it's no white. There's always a shaded area of gray, meaning we need to all understand. That's why when I posted a controversial comment or post when I was like, you know, how do you feel about letting your kids watching gay scenes? A whole bunch of comments. I'm not going to get into it. But what I did like about it is that everybody had mature responses and nobody was getting at nobody because they had a different opinion. Like, damn, you got a different opinion. Damn, you want to raise your kids differently? Like, yo, like those are your kids. Like, you do what you got to do. So at the end of the day, because somebody thinks it's okay and because somebody thinks it's not okay, I'm not going to say I'm okay with it. I'm neutral with it. It's not that I don't care, but it's not like I care that much either. So I'm not going to let it affect me.
Facts.
I got my own life. I got my own things to do. You got your life. You live it how you want to live it. I ain't here to judge you, and I ain't here to tell it either. You're stuck with those regrets, not me.
Exactly.
You feel me? And it's all because I know straight people that are okay with it and that are not okay with it. I know gay people that are okay with it and are not okay with it. So it doesn't matter what your preference and what your background is. We all got different opinions as far as do we think it's white or black? Right or wrong, light or dark, whatever. What side do you on? And some people are more like me as far as I'm just gonna stay in between and I'm gonna go up with the flow of things and monitor things and see how things go. You know? Anything you want to end it off with, bro? I mean, you know, like a lot of people don't know what's going on. We're actually in the process of moving. Mm-hmm. We're trying to come back again on Tuesday. You know, we're supposed to be moving out this weekend. Hopefully everything goes well. You know, we on Tuesday at 7:30, and we're usually here for like 30 minutes to 35 minutes. Now, just because we on here for 30 minutes doesn't mean we only worked on it for 30 minutes. You feel me? We try to provide quality and good content for you guys so that we can all learn, not just you guys. And, you know, like, so we can all learn and conversate and talk and have a group discussion as far as how we can make the world a better place. So with that being said, content is primary and it is very important for us. If we're not able to come on this Tuesday, we'll at least try to go live and do a nice Q&A session for you guys. We want to be here. I love being of service to others. That's actually something that fulfills me. One thing that fulfills me more than that is my kids. I definitely want to appreciate everybody for tuning in and things like that. And last words, as far as the topic for next week, we're going to talk about something that I mentioned. We never really got into it, but can you date somebody that's always in the club every week? Can you do that? Can you date somebody that's always in the club every single week? They've been there. You met them. They've been there. Y'all broke up. They've been there. Y'all got back together. They still there. Like, and this is all in the same night. Can you date somebody that's always in the club? Once again, thank y'all all for tuning in. It's your boy Stitches NBC.
Your boy Brutal Keith.
Or should I say Michael Marte? Or should I say Sandy Marte? Thank y'all all for tuning in. I love y'all all.
Have a good one, guys.